Hi Helga, nice to meet you again. Today,
Hi.
we want to talk about a little issue, but important. Sometimes there is a time where you have to decide to whom will you talk about your illness. And
Yeah.
this is very important because some people in your surrounding, they will not help or support you when you talk to them. And perhaps you can describe what happens or
Mm.
what is our recommendation at this time.
Yeah. So never mind if it is the first time you discovering the cancer, or if it is also even a recurrence, maybe then even more so that um, it is definitely best to have somebody to talk to,
Mm.
and it is very important to check who can I actually talk to, because what you don't want is to feel pity, that the other person says, "Oh, you poor thing, now you have cancer." And yeah, so this is not what you need. And you also don't need somebody that judges you for something. I told you always you shouldn't do this, and now you always smoked, and now you have it done. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so this kind of things you also definitely don't want. And so before you start deciding whom to talk to, you have to think about this, and you have already an idea how they would react. And
Mm.
if they are not, like in the rest of their lives, a supporter of who you are and what you do, then the best is you look for a psycho-oncological coach, because we are trained to just be there for you, to be there, to listen, to help you asking better questions, to help you finding resources within you or also outside of you. And that is exactly what you need. No person that judges you and makes you even try to defend yourself. That would be a very bad feeling that you don't want to go through.
Yeah. And also the topic of shame is inside,
Yeah.
yeah, when a recurrency is, and yeah, you talked about the people, why didn't you? And like this. And
Mm.
so it's really important to deal with the shame behind it.
Yeah, maybe even sometimes at these moments you don't even know what exactly you feel, because you confused your yeah. And so it is helpful then to speak with someone that can help you understand what you're facing, and can name these feelings. Yes, because then it is easier to deal with, uh, like what Thomas said, to if this is shame or guilt
Guilty.
or all these kind of things. Or then, of course, if it is a recurrence, then you go again through fear. Maybe this time, I cannot change it anymore. Maybe this time I have to say goodbye. Whatever thoughts may come and feelings arise, and also thinking, oh, maybe you have children that you think about them. So it's very important to have someone qualified to just be there, have a strong shoulder, and not necessarily gives you. I mean, sometimes we have friends that we can just cry, on their shoulder, and we're not expecting now some qualified advice, and that can be already a good help. But on
Mm.
top of it, I think it is good to have someone like us to really understand on a different level what you're going through, and we have the tools to help you elevating your mood and elevating the emotions that you are facing.
What's about talking with children about the illness? What do you think is the best advice?
I think it is, at some point of time, it might be good but you have to be strong within yourself first, I think, before you speak with your children, because you don't want now to cry and break down in front of them. You still want to have some kind of posture, and this you will gain only if you have gathered this posture, through conversations with either maybe other cancer patients, or together with a coach. Yeah. But I think it's definitely good to help them understand what you're going through, and because also you may want them to help you in certain things, and you need some understanding from them, if you have to go through treatments, if you cannot be home all the time, or if you need more resting time, so that they are also rather helpful and not feeling, wow, you don't love them anymore, right? Or something is happening.
Yeah, and there are a lot of books on the market, how you can explain to the children. Yeah, you read together the book, and so you come into a conversation, and then it's easier for you to go through. Yeah,
I think even with children, it might be even easier than with adults, because they have a different, I don't know, they perceive things different. And so they have often a much better understanding of our emotional well-being than adults.
Okay, so talking to other people is, I think it's selective, yeah, so that you don't speak to everybody, but you select the people who can support you, and this is the most best advice we can give.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. For your best feeling, for how you, because otherwise, if you don't select and you just blurb it out to whoever, just come across, then it starts gossip and all this. But it brings you into maybe a defense that you also don't want, to face. So rather having someone that gives you more of a support and asks, how can I help you?
And if someone is asking you what's about you, what happens to you, you're not you need not to talk about it.
No, you're not obliged to tell anyone how you're feeling.
Yeah.
So this is private, this is yours, and if you don't want, then we call that always a white lie, right? We can say, oh, I'm okay. I mean, how many times have even people that have no cancer also lied about this, right? and say, oh, I'm good, and sometimes mostly we ask these questions without expecting an answer anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So when we meet and say, oh, how are you doing? How are you doing? And that's it. Nobody expects like an honest answer.
It's just a ritual, an all-day ritual. Yeah. And so, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Elke, for this little input, and I wish you all the best.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.